Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the database connectivity using PHP. So here what we are doing is we have to collect the data from the user. So in order to do that, we are creating one simple form using HTML, and with the help of PHP, we are storing the values in a database and then fetching the all values in another web page using PHP. So before moving on to that, let's understand, let's have a short look on what is database and what is PHP. So database is a organized collection of structured information or the data. And in order to manage, retrieve the data, uh, we need some management. Means we should know how to manage the data. For that, we have the database management system. Here we are talking about the RDBMS, that is Relational Database Management System. So it is a software that is used to manage the data. I mean, how to store the data and how to manage, retrieve, access, and all things. So examples are SQL. Some of the examples are SQL Server, Oracle, Database, MySQL. So this was all about what is database. Now, what is PHP? So it is a server-side scripting language, and it is a open source. It is used to design a website or web application, and a PHP code can be placed anywhere in the document. That it means that you can write the PHP code inside the body, outside the body, or outside the whole the HTML format anywhere. Just you need to follow this syntax as shown here. Some of the applications are building web pages and web applications for designing the GUI, graphical user interface based applications for web content management system. So this was all about the PHP. So XAMPP server, XAMPP, this is an abbreviation where X is nothing but the cross-platform, A is Apache, which is a server, M is MySQL, P is for PHP, and another P is for Perl. So this is nothing but the total. It XAMPP server gives the total collection of all these things. So now we'll see what all functions will be used while connecting our PHP file with the database. MySQL connect function will be used, and then dollar underscore post. Inside that, we have to mention the names which you have given for the respective tags using HTML which you have given. And if and inside if is set dollar post button name, so this will get into work when the user will click the submit button, and then MySQL query the query insert into table name and then values and all. So this all functions will be used in order to store the data in the database using PHP. In the when at the fetching time, we will use MySQL query select start from table, because a particular database can inside the database can have more than one number of tables, can have many number of tables. So in order to fetch which table, for that we have to mention select start from table name. Star denotes asterisk. Asterisk means to fetch the whole data, or in order to fetch some particular data, we can use where conditions. And then main function is MySQL fetches of. This function will help us to fetch the data from the database to a web page. So let's see. So here I have created uh, a simple form with 6 inputs: enter name, email ID, phone number, state, city, and pin code, and one submit button. So this is my nothing but my HTML code. Just I use this nothing but one label tag in order to give the label to that input box, and then input tag type text. If I am taking input as name, then type will be text. And here I am here we have to give name as s name. You can give any name, but naming every tag is mandatory here, because we are going to use these names in the PHP code in order to uh, take input from the user. And then I have class form control. This is nothing but the Bootstrap class. And I have and we have made here every tag as required. That means it will be mandatory for the user to be filled, or if the user doesn't fill that form, particular input, then the user will uh, then there will be a pop-up of please fill out this field. Means mandatory for the user to fill the form. For that, we are using that required function attribute. Similarly, I am taking for the email ID input type text name as a giving name as email and phone number for state, for city, pin code, and one submit button. Type as submit, and here I am giving the button name as add. Okay, so this was nothing but my HTML code, and this is nothing but the PHP code. So before storing the data in a table base, we have to connect that. So for that, we have created one PHP file that is connect.php. So this is nothing but the $con is nothing but I initialize one variable equal to MySQL equivalent localhost, because it's a local server. We are using local server. Like for that, that is nothing but the localhost, and then root as a default username and password is nothing, and this is nothing but the database name. Okay, as you can see here, this is my database, and my database name is demo, and inside that I have created one table as sample. So this is my table name as sample, and this is nothing but my database. And as you can see here, the data is stored in the form of rows and columns. Okay, as you can see here. So we have to mention this database name which we have created. So this is nothing but I have mentioned. So now using include function, I have mentioned that uh, that PHP file here. So now when the after filling the inputs, after filling the form, after the sub when the user will click the submit button, if it's a $_add button, after that this whole function will be on the work. If it's a $post will be on the work, that means that this is nothing but, as you can see here, $s name equal to $_sport post s name. So this s name is nothing but the tag name which we have given here. Okay, so this is nothing but that thing. So the value will be stored in the $s name. So using the query, that is insert into table name, as I have given my table name as sample, I am sending the value to the database. This is nothing but my column name which I have given in the tags name, and followed by the values, that is these are nothing but the variable name. So and after one confirmation pop-up will be shown to the user after the submit button, when the values will be stored in the database, registration is successful. So this is nothing but the the sending values to the database. The fetching part is, in the fetching part again, I have used simple MySQL fetch assoc function. Okay, and followed by a query that is select start from table name. Here the table name is sample again, because we have to fetch the data from that table sample star everything. Star means we are fetching everything, followed by the while condition, that is as you can see here. So this is nothing but the basic code for that. Now let's see how it works. I have given my name, email ID, phone number, state, city Nagpur, and pin code as 23. And submit button. I am showing pop-up that is registration is successful. That means the data is in the database. So as you can see here, my data is in the database. So it's not possible to always get into the database and to see the values. So for that, I have fetched that particular data from the database to another web page. So this is nothing but we can see the responses. This is nothing but the database only. But just we are fetching in another web page. Okay, that's it. So in this way, using PHP, we can store, we can manipulate and fetch, we can perform these all operations using PHP. So this was all about the how the connectivity and how we have to store data and have to manipulate and fetching all of thing. So thank you.